Good morning. I hope you guys are enjoying your morning and your week. It is the Thursday of Love Week, which has been incredible so far. We've got to do so many cool things in Rapid City and the surrounding areas, and just see God impact people in such a cool way already. Last night we had the worship night, which was great. I hope you guys have been able to be a part of that. If not, I hope you've just been able to enjoy the nice weather. We finally got some rain. It's been gorgeous outside. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm actually sitting outside, not because it's a beautiful morning out, but because I'm sort of hiding from my nieces, who we've had this week. They're 6 and 3, and I gotta tell you, if you're a parent, wow, what you do is way harder, way more energy than I thought it would ever take. We've had them for 2 days, and while they are incredible, we are walking zombies. So I commend you, because what you do is a lot more difficult than I thought it'd be. So I want to just quickly share a few things heading into this weekend. First, just some informational things. Again, am going to be gone the 2nd of July and the 16th of July. I will not be here. Todd will be here for the 2nd. He won't be here for the 17th. So just if you're leading that weekend, I really appreciate you being there to not just lead, but then to answer any questions or cover any holes that we may have. As leaders, that's something you guys are going to be able to do above and beyond what some of the volunteers or even just guests are able to do. If there's any sort of hole or question or anything, you guys may just need to be asked, hey, how do we do this, or what do we do in the situations? And so I appreciate you guys being there to be able to handle some of those situations, but I will not be there for those. I know a couple other people are going to be stepping up on some of those weeks that I'm very excited for. And so I think we're going to do great like we normally do. God is going to make this show run with or without us, really. But just so you know, those 2 weekends. The biggest thing I wanted to share this weekend going into Father's Day weekend is just continuing with this investment. You know, I really believe that this summer we have the opportunity to get to know the people that are on our teams. There's some things coming down the line that we want to do in church, you know, something like the block parties, and then make those more of a local community thing, whereas if we have a neighborhood of people, we want to do something with that neighborhood. For us, you know, we look at our teams as those are our people. What can we do for our people? And so I just, again, I strongly encourage you guys, find ways to get into their life, even if it's deciding, okay, this week I'm going to text this person and just see how everything's going. I'm going to write them a letter just thanking them for being a part of what we're doing and showing them I value them. Doing something that invests in their life, you know, taking them to lunch, taking them to coffee, and inviting them to your house, doing these things that aren't that tough, but it's building community within your teams. It's showing them, hey, I want to invest in your life. I want to be there with you. I want to walk this out with you. As leaders, we own their relationship with Christ. Just a little bit. Obviously, we can't be the determining factor, but as their leaders, as their pastors, as their disciple makers, that's our job, is to get in their life in that way. And it doesn't necessarily mean leading them in this super special way, but just investing and showing, hey, I value you, and the reason I value you is because God values you. And we want to show them that. And so again, I just encourage you to, do something outside of the Sunday that shows them that you value them. We have a great opportunity to do that this weekend, or this summer, I should say. One of the things Pastor David shared with us this last week that I thought was really wise was, as a church and just as a population, we look to just the fruit of a tree. You know, if we're all trees, we look at the fruit we're producing, and in the Bible it says a tree will be known by its fruit. And the reason we focus on that so much is because we can measure fruit. We can measure, okay, how many people are on our teams? What steps have they taken? How many people are showing up consistently? We can measure those sort of things. Well, we want to start focusing on the roots of the tree, because the roots of the tree determine the fruit of the tree. And that's more difficult because you can't measure how strong a root is. But that's where the real work comes from, watering and tending to the roots that someday grow the trees. I look around at the trees that we have here, and you can tell what are weak trees and what aren't, because that's the fruit that's being produced. And so for us, we don't want to look at so much measuring the fruit. We want to look at, okay, how strong are the roots? And so looking at our teams, not focusing so much, okay, are all the people showing up that are supposed to be showing up? Think of it in terms of that. You say you have 15 people on your list of attendance. Don't judge a weekend by like, okay, well, only 4 of the 15 showed up, or great, 13 of the 15 showed up. But the people that are showing up, am I tending to their roots? Am I watering that tree that's going to produce fruit? Am I having conversations with them that's leading to a deeper relationship with Christ? Am I having conversations with them that's helping them grow in their maturity with Jesus and spiritually? That's what we want to start focusing on. So one of the things we've actually decided to do, David has asked us as a church to fast taking attendance for the next year, because we don't want to focus on the number of people showing up. We want to focus on, are we investing and having the conversations in those people and with those people that are showing up? Because if we focus on the root, the fruit will always be there. And God will continue to create and grow that fruit if we're willing to invest in the root. So that's a big illustration. I hope that makes sense. But we're gonna fast, counting in the auditorium and taking attendance. The same with our volunteer numbers. We're not going to count how many volunteers we have anymore. I'm not taking attendance and saying, well, this weekend was great because we had 40. Well, this weekend wasn't so great because we only had 20. We're going to focus on, if the people are there, we're going to invest. Obviously, we want to continue to reach outside of that. But we're not going to focus on, and I hope you hear this specifically, we're not going to focus on the number of people there. Because we want to focus on the people that we're talking to. Are we investing in their life? Are we helping them strengthen their roots so they can contribute, grow more fruit? So I'm nervous about that, because it's nice to be able to look at the number. There's a control factor there. There's a comfort in it. So it's uncomfortable not knowing, but I also think that's a good thing, because God wants us to be in a state of discomfort, which is really where He's able to grow us. So with that, I hope you guys have a great week. My nieces are literally standing at the door waiting for me right now, so I'm going to let you go. I love you guys. I will see you this Sunday.